Okay, I got two things. Okay, my first one is, for suffrage, does it mean like you're like suffering because of your rage, or like,
Right. Suffrage, actually, the suffrage has to do with the movement of women trying to get their right to vote. The suffrage. Have you guys talked about that in social studies?
Yep.
And the women who were in that movement were the suffragettes. Would you go look that one up? Because I'd like to have a better handle of what that base is. Yeah. So we can talk about that. I would suspect that the SUF is a prefix there.
I know that the SUF in suffer is probably a prefix because FER is a base.
And do you remember what the denotation of that is? Which sense and meaning does that have, FER?
Under or?
That would be the SUF part of it, because that's the prefix part of it. Cassie, do you remember?
Like pain.
You're thinking of the whole word suffer. Yeah, okay. Do you remember FER? We were looking at that the other day. Carter?
Well, I have two things, but I think it means like to carry.
Mm-hmm. I always like to think of suffering as you're carrying it heavy. Have you ever felt like you had a heavy chest when you're really sad? Like really sad? That you're carrying it there. What other words have FER base that will help us to stretch out this understanding?
Referee.
Referee, right? Referee.
Offer.
Offer, right? To carry to something. Wait, you're looking up that. Anybody have another FER?
Infer.
Infer.
Offering.
Offering. Dakota?
Information.
Information. Yeah, right. That would have a different base, but you're right. It has a similar pronunciation. Do you remember we had different, and conferent? What did you find out, Melina?
Latin, it means supporting to vote.
Oh, supporting to vote? Okay.
Okay, so Sub-zero, like, okay. I don't know what your words have to do with off and under.
Sub-zero?
Yeah.
What are sub-zero temperatures?
Oh, okay.
What would the base be for subcutaneous?
Oh, that is a great question. Anybody have a hypothesis about subcutaneous? First of all, do we know what subcutaneous means?
No idea.
I forget what it means. We did it, but I forget what it means.
Okay, you don't remember exactly? So how will we find out? Because I think we should, before we can write a word sum about it, we should know what subcutaneous is. Could you look in the dictionary and don't let your eye go down to where it came from? Just read what it is. And then I'd like to see some hypotheses about that. Subcutaneous, everybody be giving that a thought. Subcutaneous.
I think it's C-U-T or C-U-T-A.
Okay. And okay. What does subcutaneous means?
It says under the skin.
Under the skin. So
it is under.
You're saying that C-U-T-E might have something to do with skin, and you're thinking that's the base.
Yeah.
Can we think of any other words that have C-U-T or C-U-T-E that might have to do with skin? Cuticle.
Oh, I have big cuticles. They hurt.
Okay. All right. But I would imagine if subcutaneous has to do with under the skin, I bet you cuticles is a related word to that base. What did you find out?
So I have something else to say. So about submerge, put to go underwater or other liquid. I don't get what the merge means. What does that mean, the merge means?
So what does it say underneath at the bottom of that entry? Do you have a...
It says, from Latin, sub, under, plus, mergere, which means plunge, or plunge.
I bet it is mergere, and it means plunge. What is to plunge? Melina, do you know plunge?
Plunge?
Plunger.
Like plunging a toilet?
Okay, we have a plunger, right?
Yeah.
And that's that action. So what happens when you plunge into the water?
It goes under. You're plunging it underneath the water.
Right. Yeah, I have actually seen one of those January deals where everybody January 1st jumps in some body of water and they call it the polar plunge.
Oh yeah.
And
what about dip for those?
Yeah.
It's to go in. So a submerge is to plunge under the water.
Well, there is a different like way you could say plunge, cause like it's not like a plunger in toilet, but like if you jump off a like mountain, like sometimes like people say like you're plunging to your death or something.
Right. I've also heard it used in the sense of two people getting married. Oh, you're taking the plunge. You're jumping into that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right? You're jumping into something. It doesn't have to be specifically water. You just, it's that act of jumping in. Yep.
I got suffer.
You found suffer? Okay.
So it says mid 13th century to be made to undergo, endure, be subject to pain, death, punishment, judgment, grief. From Anglo-French suffer.
Anglo-French.
Old French suffer, bear under, resist.
Bear under.
Bear under.
Bear under.
Bear, not in B-A-R-E, but to bear.
Oh, it's like bear under like a desk.
If you, can you, I can't bear the pain anymore. That kind of bear. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So that's a real. I'm so glad you brought that up because F-E-R. I always think of it as to carry, but it can also mean to bear. Like I can't bear it anymore, kind of a sense, or to bear children.
Okay, so it's just like an idea. You could probably edit this out.
Okay.
So, okay, every single time that like somebody comes up with an idea, put a little light bulb out their head.